Yeah, I think a lot of people have that experience is that a lot of people are enticed by what real estate can offer and they sort of look into it, they research it, and it's not really until you get that first check or that first deposit in the bank that you're like, oh my gosh, this actually works. It's like back when I used to watch late night infomercials and they had the exercise machines and they're like they had the before and the after, and I always would watch those and I'd be like, that's not real, those are like fake people or computerized, that's not real. And until I actually did it and saw the results myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, this actually works. And so it sounds like you had an experience like that where you were always interested in it, but then you decided to take the plunge, and once you got that mailbox money, you realized, oh my gosh, this can actually work. And so tell us what happened next. So you got that first check. And then what was your plan, to go and buy, 10 more of these, or what was your plan?
Yeah, then I thought, okay, there's something here. So I started researching, went on Bigger Pockets, joined my local RIA meeting, read all the books. So that's how the journey started. So I ended up buying duplexes, triplex, or fourplex within last 4 years. And yeah, I have 16 units now. Um, and I'm branching out into mobile home parks space. I really like that. So I just bought my first one last year. It's a small 9 space park in South Carolina. My first out of state investment and first mobile home. I kind of just wanted to dip my toes in the water just to feel it out, instead of just getting a bigger park. So yeah, so far so good. So it's working out. So I enjoy that. And then somewhere along the line after the first property, I said, well, I can do property management, because the property management company, they weren't great. So I said, okay. So I've been self-managing. And eventually my goal is to give it to a professional property manager. But for now, I figured, once I do this, I can learn the business and then it's much easier to manage the manager. So that's kind of what I've been up to in real estate.
I'm just curious because I know that a lot of people, when they think about getting into real estate, they get scared. And it sounds like you kind of from the beginning had a little bit of a, attitude of, if it doesn't work out, then I can sell it. And I think that that's such a great mindset to have, because I think we, especially as women, are always afraid to make a mistake. And what ends up happening is that we don't do anything at all. And so I just think that's so great. I just wanted to mention that really quick before we moved on, that you were brave enough to realize that at the end of the day, the worst that would happen is that the deal didn't work out and you could still sell it, maybe at a little bit of a loss, but would it be the end of the world? No. And through that, you would likely have learned a lot of lessons, right? And so I think that's such an important thing to highlight, because so many people are afraid, especially if they're just getting into the real estate space, to do anything. And they analyze and analyze. I hear it all the time. I just heard it yesterday from a woman who said she just, can't get her comfort levels where they need to be to pull the trigger. And it's been, a year and a half, 2 years. And so I think that's great. So you bought the first single family home, then you did all the meetups, you read all the stuff on Bigger Pockets, which is totally what I did too, read a bunch of books, and then you just started going out there and buying duplexes and triplexes. So, and those were in your local area?
Yeah, they're all in my local area within an hour and a half of my house. Um, uh, I found that, if you're looking for properties in the core of a metro, there's a lot of competition and it's expensive too. So I started, looking more on the outskirts. So yeah, my properties are a little more on the periphery of Tampa, but there's strong rental demand. So, and they're not overly expensive. I know you're in California, so Florida is much cheaper. But like the duplexes I bought a couple of years ago, they were 100. So it's not like a huge risk also. But I totally agree with you, Julie. It's like it's the mindset. So what I do is I write down what's the worst that can happen, and also
Mm.
what I can do to mitigate that, because 90% of what we fear either doesn't come true, or if it does, it's much less than our mind makes it up to be. because we function on reptilian brain, as you know. So I think the trick is to write it down. And then if this were to happen, the worst case scenario or the second worst case scenario, what are the things that I can do or the steps that I can take? So once you put it down, there's not that scary anymore. When you know all the steps and you know there's a path out and there's multiple exit strategies. So that gives you more comfort.